Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. How's everybody doing today? Are you in the mood for great entertainment, great conversation, lots of live interactivity? Yeah, you can chat amongst yourselves and share that with us right now, live on the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. Busy day around here. I was on the air all day hosting radio shows that I normally do in my professional work and writing some TV scripts and getting a bevy of these episodes ready for next week and all the way into October and November. We are really booked with so many incredible guests day after day after day. It's so extraordinary. There's actually almost like a little bit of a waiting list of people who want to come on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. And I think that's pretty cool. Thanks to everybody who's been coming on as a guest. Thanks to all the viewers who have been watching. And of course, we do episodes where we don't have a guest, where I do a surprise pop-up show. And it's just you and I chatting, and we'll chat for a couple of hours sometimes about life and food and family and travel and music and all kinds of cool things. So this is an entertainment lifestyle variety talk show where every episode is something different. Everything we talk about is something different. And you never know where it goes. And I think that's great. That's what I love about live. I do live television, live radio, stage. I just love live work. And we're here live with you right now. It is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at the time of this broadcast. We welcome everybody that's watching all around the world. They are called, our faithful viewers are called the Lovity Squad. That's right. It's a badge of honor to be a part of the JMS Lovity Squad. And that word, levity, as you know, if you watch regularly, or if you don't, I'll say it real quick. I said the word levity accidentally when I was saying light, love, and levity last year, that the show has a lot of that. And then when that happened, the audience grabbed onto that word and they said, "We are your Levity Squad. You're Mr. Levity. This is Levity Hall. And your guests from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, science and nature, health and wellness, comedy, sports, culinary arts, inspiration, and so much more. They are all Levities. They're all part of the Levity Squad. And every guest we've had on since that happened loves being a Levity on the Jim Master Show Live. It's just so cool. Our world needs a lot more levity about now anyway, pandemic or otherwise. So I think it's a cool thing that happened. So how are you today? If you're not having a good day, you guys know this is a place to come to be entertained, informed, educated, and just have a good time with all of us. We've got an amazing guest with us coming from New York City in just a second. Really excited to have him on the show. He's all excited to be here as well. He's a terrific actor. He's an award-winning screenwriter and more. Yes, Matt Provenza is joining us in just a second right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. How is everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Of course, we welcome you to the Jim Masters Show Live in style. We say that all the time. Hello to all the Lovities that are watching around the world. Nice to have you here. And as I mentioned, our special guest, Matt Provenza, is with us in just a second from New York. Hey, while you're on our YouTube channel, we would love it. And it really helps us big time. You guys ask, hey, how can we help the series? If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do so, because that helps us big time. There's no cost for that. That's that red button that says subscribe. You've probably see it in the usual upper right-hand corner of our YouTube channel, kind of like that. See that right there in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, that little subscribe red thing there. That is the button that you click on our YouTube channel, so you can be alerted of all our episodes, all the episodes we have all the time. And that's important too, because you don't want to miss anything, especially when it's live too. You don't want to miss it. And click the notification bell as well on our YouTube channel. So that way there, you'll be alerted when we have notifications coming out about special things we're doing, surprise episodes. Sometimes we go on location. Sometimes we do a lot of holiday theme shows and so much more. So subscribe, click the notification bell so you get the alerts, and then share that. Tell everybody about our YouTube channel. Spread the levity, spread the word. And while you're there, give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel. We would absolutely love that. Do it on this episode or any of the episodes that you enjoy. That would be really great. That helps us big time. And leave a comment for us too. The reason why we say leave a comment is because then YouTube takes that episode and they blast it out to millions more so they can watch it. So when you give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel, and you comment, you leave a comment on the YouTube channel, cool things happen to the series and to these episodes. So definitely check that out. Share the lovity, as we say, gang. Share the lovity by spreading the word with everybody you know. Get on top of Mount Everest and just grab your bullhorn and just say, hey, have you watched the Jim Masters Show live? We love it. That helps us out as well. We appreciate that. A lot of you have been doing that, and that means the world to us, gang. To those of you who have done it, we've noted that. And I tell you, you guys are the best that have been doing that. Let's check in with some of our viewers watching live right now together. We're all in this together. You know me, I'm a we person versus an I person. I've actually had to learn to be a little more I. I've always been so we oriented. So let's be we together here and say hello to Alessandra Vaughn in North Carolina. Hello, Lovities and Jim. Welcome to Lovity Hall, Matt Provenza. Yes, he already knows about the Lovity. He's seen our series. He knows about it. He says, bring on the Lovity. He's all into it. Good to see Alessandra. Mary Merlin is actually here. Merlin is here from Ontario, Canada. Hello, Jim and all Lovelies. Good to see you, Merlin. Always great when you're here. And Mary Bishop is here from Florida. Nice to see you, Mary. Hello, Jim and Lovely friends. Sherry Larson is here. Yes, Sherry Larson, part of our Lovely squad on the Jim Masters Show Live. The A-listers here. Hello, my Lovelies. How is everyone tonight? We're doing very, very well. I've been basically talking all day on the air. I'm going to do a little bit more of that tonight with all of you. Welcome, Matt, to Lovity Hall from Merlin, who is watching in Canada, our neighbors to the north. For those of you watching overseas or anywhere around the world, our show originates from the greater New York, New Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. And it's good to have you here, whatever time of day it is and wherever you are around the world. Everybody's welcome. Maureen is in the house. She says, made it in the nick of time. Hello, Jim and my dear friends. I hope you're all well and sassy on Thursday evening. Well, we're going to check in with Matt and see if he's sassy. He is from Metro Detroit originally, so, you know, Motown and everything. So there might be a little soul and sass that he's going to share with us tonight. You know, we shall see. There's a little teaser for you, huh? You get the Detroit kid with the New York kid. You may have a little soul and sassy coming your way. Jones says, hi, Jim, and thank you for a place to come and relax after some family emergency today. Lovely Hall is a gift that I'm happy to have found. That is beautifully said, and thanks for sharing that. I hope everything turned out okay and your family's okay and everything is all right. This is like a family here, and it is a place to come. You know, for solace. We have a lot of laughs on this show. It's not just a show where we do interviews. This is an entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show where you are like the studio audience, and we love it. More coming in here from, wow, look at this. Welcome, Matt. So great to meet you. You're now a Lovity. Yes, absolutely. He loves that. Toby is in California and Encino. They're in the Valley. So we meet again. Howdy, everyone, from Toby. Good to see Toby. Thanks for checking in, Toby, as well. Toby says, perfect time to share. That's right. Share the link to these episodes. You know who's been really doing that a lot? I know Alessandra does it on her Facebook and I believe Twitter. Sherry Larson. Thank you, Sherry. You've been sharing on your pages almost every episode, just sharing the link on your Facebook pages and everywhere else. And we really appreciate that very much. So thank you to Sherry Larson in Kansas doing that. Kathy Short in Cleveland says, good evening, Jim and Lovities. And beautiful day, sunny day today in Cleveland. That is fantastic. Dawn is in house and Dawn says, hi, Jim. Good to see you, Dawn. Welcome for another return episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Yes, yes, yes. Toby goes, nice navy blue and maroon attire at Jim Masters TV. I like it. There's your wardrobe for this evening, folks. You got it right. It is a navy blue zip up with like a maroon shirt underneath, sort of like a t-shirt type thing, a long sleeve t-shirt to be exact. Toby says it's great. Saw the upcoming guests that we have. Yes, you can see them all on YouTube. We have about a week's worth already listed. it takes a lot to put all the episodes together. So we try to get them on YouTube as far as we can, not putting them all out right away, but as far as we can. So you can see some of the cool people that are coming up. Of course, June is here as well. The gang's all here. Good to see you, June. Welcome, my friend, in Maryland, and looking forward to another fantastic hang. Absolutely. Ruth Reedy is here from Minnesota. Good to see you, Ruth. And B. Smith is here, checking in from Berkeley, California. Good to see you as well. Yes, advertise. You're right. Word of mouth really helps. So tell everybody about our show. All the lovelies here watching, and everybody else who's watching quietly. Not everybody, comments like you fine folks do, the real faithful lovely squad. But yes, and hi all lovely squad, and thumbs up and all these cool things. So, and hello from Ruth again in Minnesota. And everybody else that's watching. We love having all of you here, and those of you who watch later on. I know some of you are here every single night. We know who you are, and we love you for that. And some of you check us out, when you can. If you miss anything, everything is available in our archives. There are literally close to 500. Not yet. I think we're almost there. Again, at the time of this show. If you're watching this 6 months from now, there's probably well beyond that. But at the time of doing this show tonight, we're hovering right around that mark, and we'll have to do something extra special. I mean, we marked 400, we marked 100. We had the big 4-hour birthday party celebration the other night on my birthday Friday with 10 surprise guests and 4 hours of entertainment, laughs, and levity. That was really, really cool. You can see that episode on our show. But when we reach 500 episodes, we will have to do something extra special. You guys are sending in photos on our Facebook group, the Jim Master Show Lodi Hall, the chairs that you're sitting in when you watch our series each night, or whenever you watch it in the archives as well. And you guys have some pretty snazzy chairs. We're going to do an episode, a pop-up show, where we're going to show the chairs of the viewers. Now, you saw during my birthday show the chair that I'm sitting in, and you guys gave it a thumbs up. We've seen the guests' chairs when the guests sometimes have to run out of the room quick to go get the Oscar, to show us their Oscar or whatever they're doing. Or they got to get a drink of water, or the dog burst in the room and they got to have the dog leave. We always say leave the dog and let the dog just lick your face, because you guys love when cats and dogs and birds and children run into the room with our guests. But sometimes, things can be a distraction. So they have to step out, and there you see their nice background with their chair. And we have so many chair shots from our guests. And sometimes we ended the show and the guest has still got the chair there, and we show you the chair. So you guys have been sending in photos of your chairs, and we appreciate that. Keep sending them in to us so we can show them. Here's this one's chair. Here's that one's chair. I think that's really, really cool. And again, good seeing everybody. Thanks for all the comments. We love you all, and we appreciate you guys being here. So if this is your first time watching, we welcome you. And as we say, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. That helps our channel big time. Leave a comment for us, click the thumbs up sign, and click that notification bell. Very easy, quick things to do, but it really helps our series big time. Helps us continue to grow and get the word out. We've grown exponentially, which is amazing. I love it. But you can always grow further, and we do it together. Matt Provenza is in the house, live and direct from New York City. Yes, as I mentioned, he was born and raised in Metro Detroit, graduated from the University of Michigan with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting, currently resides in the Big Apple. Upcoming projects, well, all kinds of different things. Feature film Love and Love Not, which he plays fraternity brother AJ, co-starring Joseph D'Onofrio, slated to be released early next year. Also, he was seen as a mobster in the series Raising Kanan, airing next month, and appeared on CBS's The Code in 2019, as well as regularly appearing on the Travel Channel's Mysteries at the Museum that same year. Not only has he produced and appeared in several internationally screened short films, including the soon-to-be-released State House, in which he speaks his second language, which is Italian, but has also played in productions on the New York Equity Stage, and as I mentioned, is an award-winning screenwriter as well. It's a real pleasure to have him here on the show, again, coming to us live and direct from New York City. Will you join me in welcoming our very special guest, Matt Provenza? Hey, Matt, welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us, my friend.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me, Jim, and to all the lovities out there. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
All the lovities are here, and it's pouring in already, my friend. Here comes that lovity wave on JMS Live. Hello, Matt. We welcome you as Jim's special guest this evening and as our newest lovity.
I'm honored to hear that. I'm honored to have that title. Thank you so much, Maureen.
And Mary in Florida says, hi, Matt, and welcome.
Hi, Mary.
And already Merlin is asking to see the chair that you're sitting in. I don't know. It might be low. Is it a low chair? Is it a high chair?
It's not too low, but it's not too fancy. It's just a blue egg chair. Nothing too fancy here tonight, folks. Sorry.
Oh, that's cool. But it looks like, or is it like a velvet blue? It looks like it's a velvety.
I wish it were more velvety. My pillow is very velvety. The chair itself is just sort of standard.
But to this audience, they love it. Nothing is standard to the lovities. I mean,
yeah, it's a swivel chair, so I got that going for me.
Oh, it swivels too?
Yeah, it's very fancy. I had to bring out my best chair tonight.
That's it. Absolutely. And flip the hair and the whole thing, right?
yeah, I tried.
That's about an hour and a half at least. I know how that works.
Well, yeah, more and more, longer and longer these days. But
well, you and I were talking about that. I mentioned, that I had always wanted to grow mine longer, kind of like one of those Greek gods, and just grow it longer. And I never had the opportunity, in everything that I do, some of the stuff I've done on television and all, didn't really necessarily call for it. But then during the pandemic, I said, what the heck, we'll do it. It was actually longer than this. It's been coiffed, it's been shaped, it's been all these different things. And I've worn it on television. I've worn it on PBS. I've worn it on news programs that I anchor and host and other things. And everybody seems to like it. But Matt Provenza had the full thing and a full beard and the whole thing, right?
Absolutely. I was telling Jim, it was full on, late 70s Paul McCartney, Ram phase. Well, I guess it would have been early 70s, but it didn't look nearly as handsome or as well coiffed as Mr. Masters. It was more of a quarantine caveman look, to be honest.
There might have been a role for that. You never know, right?
Well, maybe one in the future, we'll see. I can always grow it back out again.
Exactly. Toby in California says, howdy, Matt. And of course, our mutual dear friend, June Rachelson Aspa says, hiya, Matt. She's in the house as well. And a lovity. Kathy Short in Cleveland says, welcome to the show, Matt, as well.
Thanks, everybody.
And Sherry Larson in Kansas says, welcome, Matt. And Dawn says, welcome, Matt, as well. And Jane in Sweden, where it's very late. She's one of our regular lovities. She says, hi and welcome, Matt. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, this is really great. And I thank you, Matt from Merlin. She's excited because she got to see the chair. She's all excited.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you.
Next, she's going to ask you to sing. She usually asks the guest, do they sing? Does he sing? Is he going to sing? She and Linda Odell usually ask, do they sing?
Oh,
so
well.
If you break out into something, go with it.
Okay, we'll do. Listen, just give me the cue, Jim. I'm all set over here.
Groovy chair. Thumbs up from Toby with the chair.
Well, thank you.
It's the little things in life that count, right?
Absolutely.
Bev M from Berkeley is here. Hi, Matt from California. You know Bev?
Hi. Oh, yeah. Hi, Bev. Hi.
Yeah, Bev is here as well, which is awesome. Loyal lovities. You got it as well. So how have you been during all of the crazy times? Obviously, we're sort of coming back out slowly of the closures, of the social distancing, not being able to go on planes and all the different things for our own health and well-being and for the good of all of us. But now people are looking to get back to work. Broadway is now open. Studios are producing, stores are opening, restaurants. How have you been through it all?
Well, I've been okay. Luckily, I was able to occupy myself during quarantine. I started writing screenplays It was just something that I decided to take on because I had more free time on my hands. So I wrote a few and went through a few, and then one of them won an award last year at the Toronto Film Club, won Best Feature Screenplay. So I'm hoping to get that off the ground someday. We know how hard it is to
Yes.
get scripts produced and how much that entails. But I was also very lucky because I was able to do my first feature film during that time. Everyone was tested. It was safe. It's a really funny romantic comedy called Love and Love Not. It'll be released early next year. It's co-starring Joseph D'Onofrio and Fabiana Udeno from Austin Powers. And I have a few scenes in it. Was really excited to do that project. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And then
That's cool. Yeah.
was,
So there it is there. So when is that coming out again? I think I
well,
mentioned it at the
I'm
beginning.
hoping for a public release in early 2022. Now, I only know as much as they tell me, right?
Right.
So I think they're in the process of submitting it to festivals right now,
Yeah.
trying to get interest, distribution interest, yada yada yada. But it's an LA-based production team. So I know that there's a lot of ambition and good intention behind it, and I will have more specifics for that shortly. But just keep checking the IMDb page, Love and Love Not. I'm sure more information will be coming soon regarding
Are
that.
you able to say what your role is?
Yes, so I play a fraternity brother named AJ in the movie. I'm a best friend of the main character who has come home to his native Staten Island in the scene that we shot. It's a really fun scene. Patrizia's in Staten Island opened their doors to us to let us film there for the night. Everything was safe. Everybody was tested. Everybody was distanced. And I'm really excited for the release of that. It's going to be really great and really great for New Yorkers to see, I think, as well.
You were also in this on CBS too, right? Tell us about this. This is very cool.
That was a really fun experience being on the Code. I got to work with a director who some of you may know from his TV fame. His name was Eric Lenoble, and he was on one of my favorite TV series called Saint Elsewhere
Oh,
for a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
And has been a director on TV for a long time. He was a really nice guy. I only did one episode on the show, but it was very efficient. The team was great, and I really enjoyed working with him.
That is really, really cool. And, and you're surrounded by this incredible cast and top level producers and directors, and just that experience alone, you pick up a lot from it, don't you?
Absolutely. One of the best things you can do, and I've been going through this in the past, but one of the best things you can do when you're on set is just pay attention. You don't need to be
Yes.
down on the cell phone. You don't need to be doing this. Just look around at everything that's going on and all the moving parts and try to make friends, I learned, because these New York crews work on every single TV show.
Yes,
So
they all know each other.
you want to
Yes.
be the guy that's on time and easy to work with.
On time and easy. Yes. And both of those are equally important, right? They don't want you to come in and try to reinvent the wheel or rock the boat. Time is money. We got to get it done. So if you can help get it done, quickly and efficiently and with a smile, they'll ring that phone again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just something I tried to keep in mind. Just tried to keep it simple in that
Yeah.
respect.
Yes, absolutely. How did you get started when you were growing up in Metro Detroit, Motown? Was there any interest in going into music at all as well? Or were you somebody who said, I am a born actor. I love acting. What were those early inspirations for you growing up in the Detroit area as a kid?
Well, the early inspiration, Motown was a huge inspiration. We had 2 Motown radio stations growing up, so there was a lot of Motown in the house. I started as a drummer, believe it or not, in a band. My brother Paul, my older brother Paul's one of my best friends to this day, was the bass player. So we were the rhythm section in rock and roll bands growing up, and we did a lot of covers, a lot of heavy metal covers. I got into acting in high school. I did a production of Diary of Anne Frank, and I auditioned for the University of Michigan shortly after that and was accepted, luckily. And that really at U of M, that's where my passion was born. just because of the mentorship that I received there from the professors, who's second to none, I feel like. And I fell in love with it all over again. But if I had to pick one moment in terms of specifically acting that sticks out to me, still sticks out to me, is my mother, Ellen, my mom, ran a catering company growing up called Mildred's Catering. And it was named after Mildred Pierce.
Oh, wow.
And they love movies. She ran it with her friend Chris. They love movies, and they did a film festival every year. And I remember working the concession stand. I was probably about 7 years old at the time, and they ran a full-on projection of the movie North by Northwest. And seeing Cary Grant on screen for the first time, it was over after that. I needed a life in the arts after that, and he's still one of my favorite actors to this day. That's one moment that really sticks out. After that, I thought, I have to go into the arts, And
so were you acting in plays? Were you participating in productions along the way too?
Yes, I was. The first full-on musical that I did was in 8th grade. It was Oliver. I played Fagin. Great music. It was the first time I'd sang in front of an audience. I was terrified, but I loved it. And then I did a lot of athletics in high school as well. I was a record-setting swimmer. My brother was in the swim team, and I was trying to do everything that he did. We were in the same band. I was, just following in his footsteps.
He's older?
He's
older
4
brother?
years older than I am. Yeah.
Older brother. So kind of like an inspiration, a mentor in a way, huh?
Absolutely, 100%. And but when he graduated, that was the end of the band. So I didn't have really that outlet anymore. So that's when I did more got back into doing, like I said, the Diary of Anne Frank, and we did a show about a neighborhood in Detroit my senior year called Palmer Park. And I had two really great acting teachers in high school, Carrie Ray, who's a casting director in the Detroit area, and Lauren Kozak Kerr was her name, and just two wonderful mentors, two wonderful women who inspired me. I wouldn't be here today without the mentors in my life.
What brought you to New York? When did that happen for you?
Well, I graduated U of M in 2016, and I had done
It's like 10 minutes ago, right? It goes by so fast.
It goes by so fast, and yet so much has happened. But wow, yes, the time has absolutely flown by. Absolutely flown by. And a part of it is I had done a summer training course at Stella Adler the summer before.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I was anxious to come back to the city. Really, I was. And I wanted to see the shows. I'm a big Broadway musical guy. I love musicals. I'm not a quote-unquote legit musical theater singer by any means, but listen, I'll sing a few bars if the Lovedies want to hear it before the end of the show.
Hey, Merlin already did say, well, is he going to sing?
Excellent. Well, listen.
See, there it is. Well, are you going to sing?
If it's a true variety show, I got to do a song at some point.
Even if you were a landscaper, she would ask, are you going to sing?
Well, more than happy to do that. But yes, I was anxious to see the shows, and I went out to LA with my class, Los Angeles, just still a place I'm encouraged to move to. And I would love to work in LA at some point in my life, but it just wasn't for me right out of school.
Have you gone? Have you been for projects?
Not yet, but as soon as the invite comes, I'd be more than happy to go and to do that.
And what kinds of projects are you? Television, film?
Yeah, mainly I'm looking to work, and a lot of my auditions that I do are for TV and movies. I'm a big movie lover, though, and I really, really hope that sooner rather than later, my career takes me out there for some work.
What kind of product and material, what kind of movies speak to you? Like if they said, okay, we have a role in this particular picture, what would be like that dream role for you? Would it be a superhero? Would it be a romantic lead? Would it be a comical character, a thriller? What would it be for you?
Well, it's a good question. A superhero would be amazing, obviously. I would love to play a detective in something someday. I would love to play, a hard-boiled, film noir-esque, sort of down on his luck, Humphrey Bogart type, Sam Spade type detective. I think that would be really cool. And then on the flip side of that, I'd love to play a gangster. I've gone in for a lot of mobsters recently, and it's fun to do that kind of thing because it's so not who I am in everyday life. So it's really fun to stretch myself in that sense. You know what I mean?
You know, who
Um,
was a friend? He passed away, I think, just before COVID, but was Sonny Grasso. Sonny Grasso was the New York City detective, police detective back in the 70s, who they patterned the movie The French Connection after.
oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, and
Wow.
he was that one that rounded them all up. He and his partner in the city, and he was amazing. And Tony Lobianco was in that movie as well, who's another great friend. Yeah, The French Connection. So, could you imagine being in something like that, or working with maybe
Yes. Oh, that would
uh,
be
De
amazing.
Niro or some of the
Well,
others?
that would be a dream come true, obviously.
Do you have some folks in the acting industry that you look up to, like the De Niros or others, that inspire you?
Yes, definitely.
You said Cary Grant, of course, yeah.
Yeah, just some, people who I've met over the years on set who I've had the pleasure of coming across who have just been incredibly nice. And they don't have to be, right? I mean, I've been on
Right.
a few sets at this point. I've seen both sides of it. But the name Kevin Kline comes to
Oh,
mind
yeah,
as
yeah.
an individual who I would, he can't, he came into the restaurant where I used to wait tables and such a nice person. And that just goes to show that you can be a really, really nice individual and still have, this level of success. So Kevin Kline definitely comes to mind as someone I look up to. Another person would be Hugh Jackman, is somebody who's really
Yeah.
kind, just really nice person to be around on set. And I definitely, again, just being on set, I was, played background many years ago in a movie he was in, and just observing how he interacted with everyone. And some actors don't interact with anybody. They're there, and
Right,
I
they
respect
don't.
that. They're there to do the work, but he was just so kind, went out of his way to be nice to people. And it was the same experience with Kevin Kline. I mean, those two really stand out to me. And Sandra Bullock was the same way. Just people who go out of their way to be nice and treat everyone on set like a human being. That really just stands out to me. I hope I can be the same way.
No,
Career
y
take me there someday.
right, exactly. Now, also a screenwriter too, an award-winning, where did the love of that come from? I know you mentioned that during the pandemic, you really poured yourself into that, but were you always doing that in earlier years as well?
I had fooled around with it, honestly, but I didn't, I wasn't doing it with any intention. I mean, now I have these finished scripts that I would love to get the right sort of people behind, but it came from watching just a lot of movies. I had a
Yeah.
lot of time on my hands during the pandemic. I had lost my job, my day job,
What were you
and
doing before?
I was waiting tables at a very intense 2-story Greek restaurant in New York. It was 5, 6 days a week, sometimes 14 hours a day. And like that, it was gone,
Everything
And
stopped, the
nobody's,
world
and
stopped.
right. And that restaurant doesn't even exist in the same capacity anymore. So I had seen a lot of movies. I had a subscription Criterion channel. And growing up with my grandma Jerry, my dad's mom, who babysat me a lot, it was a lot of Turner Classic Movies. It was a lot of watching Burt Lancaster, Kirk Douglas, Humphrey Bogart, Robert Ryan, all of these movies. You know what I mean? With
The
Ben Mankiewicz,
classics.
right? Exactly. And
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
right, right, exactly. And I thought maybe I should just start writing them. I'm watching them all the time, but what would be a more constructive use of my time now that I have all this time on my hands? And I'm happy I did. I really am. It's very difficult, as you know, to get traction behind this sort of thing, especially when you're trying to be an actor at the same time. So I will say that since auditions have picked up, the writing is sort of taken a back seat. But that's not to say it wouldn't be something that I wouldn't go back to, or something that I'm very proud of having done in the past.
That's really cool. So you have a real passion and you're all in with this then, huh?
I love it. I love doing it. Um, it's just I was raised on, like I said, from these stories. My mother, my grandmother, friends I have in the neighborhood. raised on showbiz. You know what I mean? And I will say now, a lot of friends that I have in New York City are older actors. They're actors who are 40 years older than me, who are 50 years older than me. I'm not kidding. In
Are
my
they
neighborhood,
mentoring you in certain ways?
definitely. And you know what? My friend said to me the other night, who she worked for many years on and off Broadway and in commercials. There's a difference between being ambitious and determined. And what you want to be is determined to work as an actor. So when I first came out here, it was sort of, I want to be the star, blah, blah, blah. Well, that sort of stuff's out of your control. You know what I mean? So really, I've learned from my mentors, what can I do to be a working actor? That's my focus right now, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So some of the things that you are working on, we were talking about some of the projects. What are some other things that you're excited about that are sort of down the pike, slowly happening as things do return to some sense of normal?
Well, I'm excited about the increase in television production. As you mentioned, it's a very small role, but it's a role with Patina Miller and others in Raising Kanan in the next season. So I'm really excited about that when that comes out. And it was the first time I had been on set in that. I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about it, but here we go. In that capacity. And I'm excited to see more of that, and more auditions are coming in that sense. So I'm hoping for a year of that, of hopefully more co-starring auditions and guest spot auditions. And I'm excited to see more of that.
What about comedy? Does comedy come to you naturally? Do you enjoy comedy?
I love comedy. The name Jerry Lewis pops to mind as somebody.
Funny you say that, because I've been just watching the YouTube videos of the MDA telethon bloopers and all kinds of. If you ever go on YouTube, there are tons of videos that people have uploaded of the MDA telethon, and it is incredible to see the bloopers and how he handles it and the craziness and.
Aren't they
Muscular
hysterical?
Dystrophy Association, that is. Yeah.
It's so funny, and it's hysterical, and it's so funny you mentioned that, because one of my friends who's older than me in the neighborhood loves Jerry Lewis, and he gave me a 6-hour MDA blooper reel, and it's people saying the wrong illness, it's Jerry not knowing
cue cards are screwed up.
Exactly. Not knowing to the moment Robert Goulet comes on, he's had a little too much to drink, maybe Sammy comes on, he's had a little too much, or Frank, and it's hysterical.
Hey lady.
Right, hey lady. And now I know from watching all of it. Now I like the New York area codes are drilled into my head after watching these, DVDs.
212 and all the rest.
917.
You go back further with like Jackie Gleason, and then it's like Murray Hill, and if those were part of the telephone numbers.
Oh my gosh.
It was interesting. They would Bensonhurst's 2049 or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Now the Italian in me is really going to come out.
You would see, if you watch The Honeymooners, you'll see them talk about that as well. Are you fans of people like that, the old school, like the Jackie Gleasons, the Rodney Dangerfields, some of the other, those real comedic type legends?
Yeah, I am, definitely. I'm an old soul. Like I said, it was a lot of TV land growing up at my grandmother's house. And, I don't think I'm too far from Fred McMurray myself, just to put that out there. But I'm a big fan of the older comic types. I would love to do a show like that someday. Live comedy is particularly exciting. And that's another thing I'm excited to see more of coming back, because my friends who are stand-up comedians in the city or are sketch comedians in the city, they're just starting to do shows again. So I'm really excited just to be able to go to those.
That's really, really cool. So things were, trudging along for you when you graduated school, and just you dove right in, and you haven't looked back, right? Whatever it takes. You were, again, working at the restaurant, trying to make money, pay the bills, while fostering and growing the acting career. And that's a great thing. So has anything replaced the restaurant? Is there a chance of that returning for you, or?
Yeah, there's always a chance of that returning, definitely. I'm very fortunate right now to have had some roles that will tide me over for a little bit. That's
Yeah.
not to say that the restaurant won't come back. I
Yeah.
could be waiting tables again in a month. Truly,
Yeah.
that's
Sure.
just the reality.
Yeah.
But between you and me and the levities here, I'm just avoiding that for as long as possible. And there's no shame in doing that. I've done it for over 5 years. But you just have to be careful in terms of the hours and whatnot. So that's definitely a reality. I have nothing against doing that. There's no shame in doing that, and it'll probably come back for me. There's a likelihood that I'll be doing that again. But I'm just enjoying the couple of jobs that I've had that tiding me over while it lasts. You know what I mean? I picked up some freelance work cleaning out a friend of mine's theater. He works for a pretty prominent theater in the city over the course of the summer. So I was able to build a little bit of a savings. So we'll see, we'll see.
Right. Right. Exactly. And yeah, as things are opening up, more will come along. Absolutely. Here's another project as well, huh? Tell us about
Yeah.
this one.
Well, Flowers by Peter is something that I wrote, produced, and started myself. It's short.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a short film directed by Mirto Motzi, my friend Mirto, and it's on YouTube. You can watch it. It was an official selection in the New York Young Filmmakers, New Filmmakers Film Festival. And
What's it about?
it's about guys who are organizing a card game, and they're trying to hustle some others out of money because they need to make some money to pay off some debts. But as we know from all these great movies, human error takes its toll, and things take a turn. And you're more than welcome to watch that. It's on my website, www.matthewprovenza.com, and it's also on YouTube. You can check that out. That was one of my forays into producing, writing, starring. I'd done that before. It's something I love to do, but it takes up a lot of time. And
It really does. Yeah, you got to be all in, right? All in.
you got to be all in, Jim. And I find from now on, it's not something I'll be closed off to doing in the future. That was a great experience, but you have to find the right team. And if everybody's not 100% on board and invested, it falls on your shoulders immediately. So it can quickly become a lot more work and a lot more of an investment than you thought it would be originally. So I would not be opposed to doing it in the future. I plan to do it in the future, but it'll just have to be with the right team.
Do you bore easily? Do you get bored if you're doing the same thing over and over? We had a couple of people on, like I do a lot of different things, and I've always done a lot of different things all at the same time, maybe hosting this show and working for this station and being here and doing this and doing that. And there is chaos to that and craziness to that. But at the same time, there's excitement to it, and every day brings on new exciting challenges and things and people that you come across. And there's a lot of coolness to waking up and having all these different things that you're participating in. How about you? Do you prefer to have one thing that you're doing and just stay with that, or do you like to have your hands in a lot of different things going on at once?
Well, I try to stick to one thing just for my own sake because I can get flustered very easily. Although I will say that the industry, as you know, is all about, really when it comes down to it, creating your own work and putting yourself out there. So I try to have my fingers in as many pies as possible for the sake of my career, because you want that visibility. You want to just keep putting yourself out there. So I try to not say no unless I think, okay, I really can't do this. I try to say yes to everything, and more stuff. It just opens more doors for you, and more stuff is happening now. It's just starting to happen again. So when I talk about these things that excite me, I hope it keeps happening in the future, because it's literally in the past, I think, 2 weeks, auditions are back to, okay, I'm busy again, and that's a great feeling after 18 months of, trying to motivate yourself every day to do your own thing. And, so it's refreshing to finally be busier again.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes the self-starter definitely can be, you got to wind it up and, reinvent the wheel again tomorrow. For some people, that can be tough. And for any of us, sometimes it can be. But yeah, it's an interesting world, isn't it? It's an interesting world. What have you learned about yourself, Matt, during everything we've experienced in the last 2 years? There's been a lot of, we talk about it a lot with our guests, especially lately, because it's topical, it's fresh. Um, what has Matt learned about who Matt is and the teachable moments through everything that you've witnessed, you've seen, you've experienced, as we all have collectively in the last 2 years of all that's gone on?
Well, it's been a very humbling 2 years in many ways, right? Because you are forced to face these things within yourself. And that's why I say I like to focus on one thing at a time, because it can be overwhelming. And this industry is can make you very anxious. So I've learned that it's best to just remain calm and try to just do one thing at a time.
Go with the flow and adapt.
Right.
And yeah.
Adapt. That works best for me. I also learned, during the pandemic, my roommates left. They went home.
They did.
And I was living alone for a while. And now I'm in a living situation where I don't have roommates, and I just function better that way. So
I was going to say, are you liking that? Or
yes. So that's what I learned, I would say, during the pandemic, is I thought I need to live on my own. And
you can focus. Yeah.
right. Just so that to have that focus.
You probably sleep a lot better too.
You sleep a lot better. And I'll tell you what, it's fun to live with your friends when you're right out of college.
Yeah.
And then a few years after, it starts to get old.
A little dry.
Yeah. And when you hit 27, it's like, okay, I've really got to not live with strangers. And, I have to have my own kitchen, my own bathroom, it's worth the investment, in my opinion.
You buy the cereal and somebody doesn't steal it. What happened? My Cheerios box. I just bought it yesterday. How come it's empty?
All my food, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, the fridge is empty all of a sudden. Yeah, exactly.
Who took my ice cream cone?
Well, it's always the ice cream that disappears first. Exactly.
Well, of course, yes.
And the ice cream and the booze are the first things.
Yes, and if you bring home a pizza and then you leave the room, you come back, 4 slices are gone.
Oh, mysterious disappearance. And one of my first jobs when I moved to the city was I was a pizza delivery guy in Brooklyn. So there was a lot of bringing home.
Did you do that? Really?
I did. And there was a lot of.
You could write a book about that experience.
Oh my God, definitely could. It was at a great place, but definitely moved past that.
Now, did they think that you were from New York and from the Brooklyn area?
No, well, sort of. No, they did
put on that accent a little bit. You can go.
No, because the guy who ran it and the guy who still runs it, Massimo, was Italian, and he was from Italy.
Right.
And he had just come and started the business. So there was the actor in me that came out, and this is terrible. Now I'm revealing all my secrets. And I would have sort of put on the fake Italian accent for customers. And I would do that because I speak Italian very well now. And I would do that at the restaurants I worked at too, because you just get more tips doing that way. If you're a guy from the Midwest and you're waiting on tables, it's not very interesting. Oh, you're an aspiring actor. But if all of a sudden you start to act a little more Italian, and you start to do a little bit of this and that, they're excited to see you. They want to know all about you, and the tips are better. So that's one of my secrets, But that's for you and the Lovities only, please.
Yes, there's nobody else watching. It's just us. It's just the Lovity family and Mr. Lovity and our newest Lovity, right?
Yeah, I hope I'm not revealing too much, Jim. I'm gonna have my title of Lovity removed by the end.
No, but we have a lot of graphics for that. Everything you've said this far have been world premiere exclusives.
I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it.
That's it. Well, you're a Lovity already, according to the gang. So I think that's really, really cool. We've got a couple of more photos here that we want to show too of some cool things. We dug up this. This is kind of cool.
Uh-oh.
There has to be a reason.
Oh, that's from an Italian short film that I did, actually. It's called Il Ritorno. And it's, again, something that I wrote, produced. It was directed by my friend Melinda Hall, but it was I wrote and produced and started it myself. It's entirely in Italian. It's co-starring my good friend Mark Keelace. We did it through SAG-AFTRA. Um, and it's a short film about family, Italian family, what it means to grow up and have that pressure on you. And I encourage everybody to watch it. It's in my, like I said, my second language of Italian, so you'll get to see my Italian language speaking skills if you go on over to my website, MatthewProvenza.com, and give it a watch. And it's also on YouTube.
So, from your perspective, what is it like growing up in an Italian family? What are, for those that are watching that might not be Italian, what would be a few things that might surprise them or interest them? Do
Well,
you really yell and scream at Sunday dinner?
well, well, I mean, I say my family, my dad's side of the family is Italian and Polish, and those memories come from being at his cousins, who I called, they weren't really my aunt and uncle, but his cousins, Bird and Mike, and my uncle Mike, growing up, going to Christmas at that household. It was a big family event. And yes, the pool table was going, and in the summer, the actual pool was going in the backyard with my cousin, with a bunch of my cousins, and we were all around the same age at the time. It was a hot tub, and there's just a lot of boisterous family memories of, of doing that and growing up in that setting. It was a lot of fun. It's something I miss a lot because people move away.
We lost away.
Exactly. They pass away, unfortunately. And it's just, it's not the same anymore. It's just the way this is not exclusive to my family. It's just the way it goes, but
family dynamic has changed. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It changes over time. Everybody lives in other places now. But I really look back fondly on that. My childhood. Yeah. And it taught me of the importance of family, really. And I think that to this day. Just before I came on tonight, I talked to my parents on the phone. It's something I do at least 3 times a week.
That's great.
I'm very close to my mom and dad and my brother Paul. And that's what I guess, quote unquote, growing up in an Italian family, the importance of family was really stressed.
It's very important and stressed. Exactly. Have they been out to New York to see you? Obviously, lately there's
yes, and they love it out here. We always see shows together when they come out. We have great food when they come out. I love being able to share this with my parents, this gift that is, because they didn't really know the city very well. I didn't really know the city very well before I moved here, but they come out and visit, and I'm able to share that with them, and they've grown to love it over time. And I'm very grateful for that. You said this earlier on the show, it's all about the little things in life, right? And the moments in life. And if I can have my mom and dad come visit me and make them happy for a weekend after all they've done for me and continue to do for me in my life, that's my happiness. That's my victory. You know what I mean? Yes. So that's better for me than any acting job that I'll ever have had or will get. That's what it's all about to me.
How about producing and directing? Do you see that as something that interests you, or are you clearly the performer, the entertainer?
No, I would love to direct if that door ever opened. In fact, I'm reading this book, this like 900-page book about John Huston right now. And I've seen all these movies. I've written movies now. So if that opportunity ever came along, I would love to do it. I would love to be able to, tell people where I wanted the camera, to be able to work with actors. I think being an actor, I could do that really well. And it's definitely something that I would love to do. And producing the same way. I mean, that takes a lot of clout, I guess you could say, to just get started in that. And I wouldn't necessarily know how to go about getting either job. But if the opportunity arose, I would take it. I started doing this as an actor. I am an actor, but I love this industry. You know what I mean? And to be able to write, to be able to direct, to be able to act, to be able to produce, I want to participate. That's my goal, really. So I would love to hopefully do all of these things,
That's really cool. We got some cool photos here too of different looks and different things that you've taken on. Somebody was asking, I think it's Toby. She said, and she's in California, since auditions are opening back up, do you need to present new headshots? Did you have to freshen headshots because 2 years have gone by?
Yes, we definitely had to get new headshots. I'm lucky now where I have friends in the city, so I can get a little bit of a discount rate here and there. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a big challenge. But I would say to any photographers out there, now is the time to be advertising yourselves and to be putting that out there, because actors need that right now. Performers need that right now. Everybody needs an update because it's been too long.
It was a cool place in New York that a lot of the photographers would use, and I even used them too, reproductions where, you would take the memory cards, whatever, to them, and they would make the actual headshots. And what do you need? 100, 200, whatever. And they could do any tweaking or anything you needed. And they went under with COVID. They were like,
I wasn't aware they went under. Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
I had Jeffrey Hornstein, who was a wonderful photographer in New York, on as a guest, and he used them as well for his clients, and they went under.
First of all, I wasn't aware of that.
They were one of the biggest. Yeah,
definitely one of the biggest.
Really good too.
I got all my headshots printed.
Me too. That's where I got mine.
So they were on right up until before the pandemic. This is the first I'm hearing of this. I'm really sorry to hear about this. It's weird though, Jim, because I hope the days of printing off headshots aren't over. You know what I mean? Because
when you think about it, everything's digital now.
Everything is digital. Everything is
so between the pandemic and the digital, that could have been, the coffin, the nail in the coffin, maybe.
It could have been, but I hope they bring back in-person auditions when it's safe, when people feel comfortable, because this is no way to audition actors. Really, it's not. A self-tape. You can't tell somebody's energy in the room. I mean, a bunch of casting, I've worked with casting directors. A lot of that is when the moment they walk in, right, until the moment they hit and start the lines, the decision's already been made. So these self-tapes, and my friends who are older actors in the neighborhood say the same thing. How can you tell? How can you possibly tell from somebody's self-tape? You're not hiring the person with the most talent. You're hiring the person with the best equipment. You know what I mean? So I hope that sorry for that. But
no, that's true, because that's a good point, because you might be really good. You might be an incredible talent, but if the lighting is off or the equipment isn't $4,000 camera,
yes,
it's going to make you look worse. And the other person who doesn't have that experience and talent and everything else, but because they have this beautiful lighting and this beautiful production,
they get the part. And I'm lucky. I'm able to have that equipment.
Provenza, no like.
but no, now see this. I shouldn't be talking too much, but no, but it's just unfortunate, because I see some of my friends who have been very, very fortunate in their work. And I think, not every actor has the money to be buying this Nikon camera and this huge ring light. You know what I mean?
Expensive
stuff,
yeah.
Headshot on a resume, printing it off and giving it to a caster physically, that's one thing. But I understand the necessity for self-tapes. I'm more than happy to do them. But I don't think it's the best way to audition people. That's just my opinion.
Do you think it's here to stay?
Yes, I do think it's here to stay. I think that the time has come to adapt. So while I make these grievances, I say it with the self-awareness stuff, I'm going to have to keep doing it. We're going to have to adapt, because I think it's here to stay. I think this is the way it's going to be,
Yeah, right.
So that's okay. You know what? It's just time to adapt.
Right. That's what it is. That's the world.
Got to put your best foot forward and just do it.
The earth keeps spinning as long as, we have our health. We're here today. We woke up today. That's blessing number one.
Exactly.
Everything else is icing on the cake, right?
Very much so. Very blessed to be here. Very blessed to be here.
Cool shot here.
Oh, thank you. It was a new shot that my friend Kyle Rosenberg took of me. I'm very thankful for that shot, because it's getting me a lot of auditions these days.
It is.
So very thankful.
For the businessman or detective roles?
A lot of lawyer stuff, detective stuff, and a lot of modeling stuff. I went in for the Coles fall catalog the other day, so that was really exciting. And
You're going to be in we'll see you in the Coles
no,
fall catalog.
I don't know if you'll see me in it. I'm not sure.
So possibly.
Fingers crossed. Exactly. Yeah, fingers crossed. So we'll see about that. But yeah, those are some old headshots. That's one that my friend L. Morgan Lee took. They're a wonderful photographer. They're also an acclaimed actor on the New York stage and elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that photo has done a lot for me over the years too, as has that one. I'm very thankful for L. Morgan. They took great photos.
I like the black background too, and the lighting, the shading, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually my mom's favorite picture of me. She says she shows this one off to everyone at work. So
that's my son. That's my
exactly.
nephew.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my money shot, because I think this is the photo that best exemplifies my personality, honestly.
Who Matt really is.
Yeah, this is the guy who wants to be your friend and grab a beer with you. You know what I mean? So that's, I think, again, L. Morgan took this photo. It's my best, I think.
Could you, when you look at all of this so far and the opportunities you've had, if you were to talk to the 10-year-old Matt, what would you say to the 10-year-old Matt in Michigan?
Boy, I would say be true to yourself always, and don't doubt yourself. And if you have a creative impulse, go with it. Even if people don't understand it, or it's not something they jive with necessarily, just go with it and stick to it and stay committed. Stay committed. I would say stick to it, because there were a lot of endeavors when I was younger that just, I think, oh, I wish I would have stuck with that. I wish I would have done that. Just stay with it. I would say to 10-year-old Matt, just keep doing it. That's the advice I would have.
Now, would that 10-year-old Matt have ever anticipated the career turning out in the way that it has thus far, and all these great opportunities that you've had? I would imagine probably not. Although maybe you were determined back then and said, "I'm going to make it. I'm going to do
well, this." I'm not sure what he would have thought. I think he would be over the moon to be living in New York City on his own and auditioning for Broadway and TV shows. I did a very, low stakes online commercial the other day, but that thought came to my mind. I thought the child Matt would be thrilled by this right now, So I think he would be really happy, and happy to say where things have gone. You talked about sassiness at the top of the show.
That's right. They're waiting for us to add some soul and sassiness.
Well, I think the 10-year-old me would have said, "That's it. That's all you've done so far, Matt." So it's just got to keep the ball rolling in that respect too. So
I think people want to know too: is it Detroit or Detroit?
It's Detroit. I would say Detroit. It's Detroit. Yeah.
You've probably heard both.
Definitely heard both. I've heard Detroit a lot.
Detroit. Yeah.
We're so close to Canada. It's a lot of people from Windsor will say Detroit. So I grew up hearing that
Detroit,
too.
Yeah.
But Detroit, yeah.
Have you had a chance to travel either across the country or to other countries through your work?
No, I haven't through my work, although not yet. I did. Take that back. I did do a short film in upstate Woodstock, New York, which was beautiful. A couple of years back. And then I did a regional production of a Shakespeare play called The Winter's Tale in Annapolis, Maryland for a summer. And that was a lot of fun. It was right outside DC. It was a beautiful place to spend the summer. And then in college, I studied abroad in London for a month and spent some time in Paris as well. Saw some great life-changing theater when I was there, and I hope to return. I really hope to return there at some point soon.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Are there some dream venues where you'd love to play?
I would love to play in the National Theater in London. I would love to play the Old Globe stage in San Diego. I would love to do the Mark Taper Forum in LA at some point. These are things that come to mind. I would love to be, I'd love to be on the Tonight Show stage someday at the Ed Sullivan Theater. We talked about that. Yeah, I would love to go home. The Fox Theater is a beautiful theater in Detroit. It would be really great to do a show there someday,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So these are the venues that stick out. Yeah.
Broadway?
Yes, I would love. Broadway's definitely a dream of mine. I would love to be on any theater on Broadway. The first theater I ever saw a show at was the Belasco Theater.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to. And I would love to be off Broadway. There's so many great off Broadway venues too now. The Public, the Signature, Playwrights Horizons. Just these wonderful dream venues. It would just be fantastic. I'll tell you what. I saw great performances on PBS the other night of Harry Connick Jr. and Kelly O'Hara doing Pajama Game in 2006, and I thought that would be my dream. I would love to do the John Raitt show if I were singing "Hey There" on a Broadway stage. That would be a dream come true for me, too.
Since Merlin asked in Ontario, Canada, did you want to sing something? I mean,
well,
it could be anything you want. It could be Jingle Bells. I mean,
yeah, I don't know how in key I am, but I might as well. This is an old Italian song I knew growing up. Are we ready?
Yeah, we are ready. 3, 2, 1. Matt Provenza live.
Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più, mi dipinge con le mani le faccia di blu. Poi improvviso venivo dal vento rapido e incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare. Oh, e cantare, oh, nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù, e volavo, felice più in alto del sole ed ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me. Volare. Oh, e cantare. Oh, nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù, nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù. Jim Masters TV, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. That was Volare.
That was amazing. That was incredible. And again, another world premiere exclusive.
Thank you. Yeah, I was happy to do that. I was all too eager to do that.
There was a lot of people swaying along as well. Austin Field says that is some beautiful singing. And Mary Bishop says, fantastic voice, Matt. And Toby in California says the tips are pouring in.
Well,
yeah, that would be nice.
It would be. And it's funny you should say that, because this is how I got my equity card, through the Guild of Italian American Actors. I used to do, this is so fun. My gosh. I did a Dean before the pandemic. Another world premiere exclusive. I used to do a Dean Martin show where I would sing a bunch of Dino songs and talk about his career with Jerry and then his solo career.
His daughter was just a guest on our show a few weeks ago, Dina.
Really?
Yeah. You have to scroll back and binge watch the episodes.
I will definitely watch them.
She's a dear friend, and she was on, and we had a great conversation. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
wonderful.
I will be watching that. She is wonderful. I've seen her speak in interviews. She is wonderful. And her dad changed my life. I mean, the Rat Pack did in general. But Dino, I read a biography of his. It's called Living High in the Dirty Business of Dreams by Nick Pocious. It's a really great biography.
How about Tony Bennett?
Tony, love Tony. But the thing about Dino specifically is that he was such a good actor and such an
Yes.
overlooked actor.
And funny, his dry
funny.
wit, and yeah.
His TV show, I have all those DVDs, and his
And
TV
those Dean Martin roasts.
Oh, he came up with all,
Forrest
you know?
Tucker as the drunk. And
Right, exactly. Oh my God, Don Rickles and
oh,
everybody.
did you see where Forrest Tucker
Burt.
roasts Don Rickles?
I have to look that up. I don't
Oh, you
think
have to
I've
see.
seen
I
that.
think it's on YouTube.
Oh, I'm
It
sure
is
it is. Yeah, yeah.
hilarious. Rickles.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm
That
gonna have to
whole time period and all of those guys and the Phyllis Dillers, all the women too, just were, you know, Shelley Winters. I mean, just
Shelley
all these
Winters.
amazing people. Sammy Davis
I mean,
Jr.
it's a blast. It's a blast too.
Frank
That
Sinatra,
Frank, yes, it's
Al
a blast
Martino.
to go down that time warp in YouTube sometimes. You know what I mean? There was a movie on the other night, and it was with Nancy Sinatra, Frank's daughter, called Get Yourself a College Girl. I don't know if anybody has heard of it, but that is the perfect sort of time capsule movie for the 60s. And
Would you have liked to have grown up during that time period?
I would have loved to have grown up during that time period. Of course, I'm very happy to be where I am now. But I would love to have a show like Dean had, because that doesn't exist anymore, where you have a couple of guests on and it's very casual and you sing a couple songs together.
Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Like we're doing right now. Absolutely. I have this dream. This is another world premiere.
I have a dream.
I hope I'm not talking too much, by the way.
Not at all.
But there used to be a show back in the day with Bob Cummings called Love That Bob. And
that's right.
I have a dream that I'll do my own version of it someday, and it'll be called Love That Matt. And it'll come live from New York. I'll have guests on. We'll sing a few numbers together. There'll be an orchestra. Anyways, these are the things I think about in my spare time. You know
His
what I
son,
mean?
Tony Cummings, was a soap opera actor on Another World.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, there you go. See, the more you know. Yeah,
in the 80s. Yeah,
see, that's a time I would have loved to have grown up in, is the golden era of soaps, because those were just so much
70s and the 80s.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
70s, the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
we've had several soap stars on recently, and
awesome.
Those scripts, the scripts are like this. The amount of copy that they have to memorize, because they shoot like several episodes, and it's really we've had guests in from Days of Our Lives and One Life to Live, General Hospital, Another World, Guiding Light, and Young the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful. There's only a few left. I believe there's only General Hospital on ABC.
I was going to ask, what are the
Days
ones
of Our Lives, which is, sometimes they say it's canceled, sometimes they say it's not. Young and the Restless, and I think Bold and the Beautiful, and I believe that's it.
The
other ones, One Life to Live, and all the other ones. My mother would have them on, and my sister watched, so I would watch them too, because of the interesting scenarios, and then and then you end up knowing some of those people that were doing it, and just the fact that it was a series ongoing. The people, kind of like with a show like this, or anything that's Johnny Carson, Dick Cavett, anything that's on, Oprah, any of them, years and years and years. Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak, Ultimate Gig, what Alex Trebek was doing, what Bob Barker did on The Price is Right. Now Drew Carey's doing shows that last 30, 40. Price is Right is celebrating 50 years on television.
Wow.
Which is unbelievable. So imagine having a gig like what Pat Sajak has with Wheel of Fortune. I've done game show stuff too. And you have a gig like that goes on for 30, 40 years. Golden. I mean, you're so identified with it too. Like Alex Trebek, we saw how identified he was with Jeopardy. And it's tough to replace. And they found some good replacements. But, you still, and even there was the amount of people that tried to get the Price is Right hosting gig. I believe Rosie O'Donnell applied, and George Hamilton, and I'm not sure if Mario Lopez did, but a lot of people wanted that. and then they brought Drew in, and Drew won, and but a little bit of a transition. It's not like a shock for an audience because they're so used to warm Bob all these years, Bob Barker, the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Uh-huh.
So, and Drew's great. It's just you have the original and you're so used to them. So there's always that period of adjustment. But some of those gigs, those opportunities are fantastic. But
They
now
are.
what's happening, like you said earlier, a lot of people are having to create their own. The digital world has just, sort of forced that to happen a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merlin says 39 years for, Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
Yes. And
Incredible.
love that Bob. June used to watch Love That Bob.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you, uh-huh.
Yeah. So many incredible shows and so many good times. It's good to look back. Dick Van Dyke Show and
Oh, I
all of
love
it.
Dick Van Dyke. Yeah. One of my favorites. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes. He's somebody that's on my list. I've met Carol Burnett, I've Florence Henderson, Carol Brady from Brady Bunch, Judy
Okay.
Collins, all these,
Okay.
Aaron Neville.
Oh,
But
wow.
Dick Van Dyke, I was very, very close. It was actually for a PBS special, very close to interviewing him for a PBS special, and still hope it happens. They were ready to fly me out west to his home and the whole bit, but it was his 90th birthday, and he got called away because Disneyland did this whole
Oh,
celebrate Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins,
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
all. So that he's still on the list.
Yeah. Wow. That would be incredible.
He and what is it? Mel Brooks and Norman Lear are
Yeah.
in that upper 90s club, and Betty White.
That amazes me because
Betty White.
Norman, yeah, Betty White, obviously First Lady of Television, but Norman used to write for Dean and Jerry. It's just,
That's right. When you look back at that, when you look back at the careers of a lot of the folks that we all enjoy today and yesterday, they did stuff like Dick Van Patten. That was Eight Is Enough with Betty Buckley, who played the mother on Eight Is Enough. Yes, this whole thing,
that could be
and
for hours, but
there's a commercial with Betty Buckley on it, and she's wonderful. I had an opportunity to chat with her, and we're hoping to welcome her on the show at some point. There's this really cool commercial. I think it's on YouTube of her, and I think it goes back to like the 70s or maybe the 80s when she was playing the mom on Eight Is Enough on ABC. And I think it's for either Triscuit or Wheat Thins, and she's playing the mom, and they're all talking about sort of singing along how great either the Wheat Thins or the Triscuit is. It's just kind of cool to see people in these different roles. Dick Cavett, legendary talk show host, used to be a writer on Carson, on Johnny Carson's show.
yeah,
Conan O'Brien used to
yeah,
write for, what was it, The Simpsons, or
yeah,
yeah. So then all these connections, all these people that do these different things. So
yeah,
you wear a lot of different hats in these industries, as we know.
right.
June wants to watch all the old shows now.
June, come over.
Yeah.
Everybody's invited.
We'll put on Decades Channel or Antenna TV or Cozy TV or Me TV, all those retro channels.
Oh yeah,
And we'll pop some Jiffy Pop.
yeah,
If you want to go back in time.
right.
And what will we have, June? Ovaltine or Bosco, or so is the chocolate syrup, or what will we have?
Well, thank
True.
you.
Have you heard that before?
I have. I've gone in.
I can see that now.
I've gone in for young Elvis on biopics before. I'm serious.
Can you do the lip thing?
Yeah, I got to kind of work on the snarl a little bit, and Las Vegas gonna set my soul on fire. It's a work in progress. So we'll be.
Now that you started that, they're going to want more of that.
Yeah, that one I don't know the whole thing of. Although I did see him and Ann Margaret shaking it the other day at TCM, and it made me laugh. But yeah, I've been called in for that before, so it's definitely something I should work on.
So you said you can do the lip thing. You said,
well, not really.
Does it go up like this? Yeah, it's like a little bit of a snarl. How do you like this, folks? If anybody's tuning in right now, what do you think they think's going on?
Another world premiere exclusive. Yeah,
We are like transmitting some sort of psycho messages or something.
yeah,
That's what they
exactly.
would deduce.
Yeah,
Somebody in some foreign land or say they're giving some code. What's going on
snarl
here?
signals at each
They're
other.
giving a
Yeah,
snarl here.
yeah,
Well, we got the lip thing down.
yeah, yeah. I'll have to practice that.
I would always hear as a kid, what would I hear? I would hear sometimes Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch. I would hear sometimes Donny Osmond. I would hear, and maybe it's the profile, and I still get it. Kyle MacLachlan from Sex
Really?
and the City
Yeah.
and what Twin Peaks and all those shows.
Oh, he's
Um,
great. I
I
love
think it's the
Kyle. Love
profile,
Albert.
that English-Irish profile thing, and I've seen comparison photos and stuff, and I'm like, wow, I can see what they're talking about. You can see what they're talking about with Elvis, right?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Nestle's Quick. If we're gonna have the Jiffy Pop and watching the old shows, you gotta have Nestle's Quick. So if it's Nestle's Quick, Sherry, is it chocolate or strawberry? What does Matt want? Chocolate or strawberry?
Chocolate any day.
Chocolate.
Yeah, that's
So
my choice.
this is a foodie crowd, my friend. Do you like to cook?
I love to cook.
What's your
One of my
specialty?
I make a great chicken parm. And I only say that because people have told me I make a really good chicken parm. And I won't reveal my secret, but you're welcome to come over anytime. I love to make very simple Italian stuff like bolognese, spaghetti bolognese, or meatballs. I love to
Oh, that
make
bolognese sauce,
different
there's
things
nothing
in there.
like it.
Nothing
Mm.
like it. Nothing like
Now,
it.
are these like recipes from your mother or grandmother passed down, or is it your own twist?
A little bit, but it's so simple. You know what I mean? So I love to make that kind of stuff, and I love to make breakfast every morning. I'm a big ham and eggs guy, so throw a few vegetables in the scrambled eggs, and with a pot of coffee, and that's a lot of
Yeah,
what I do.
a nice hearty breakfast.
Yeah, and we
Yes, yeah.
we live in New York in like the cold cut capital, so it's a lot of cold cut sandwiches for lunch and stuff like that. Simple stuff.
That's the
But
3 C's. Cold
yeah,
cut
that's right.
capital.
Yeah,
The 3
that's right.
C, the other 3 C's.
So I said the magic word.
What was the other
It's
3? Cut,
$100.
clarity, and color? Cut, clarity, and color, and cold cut capital.
Yeah,
Cold cut
that's right.
capital Cold cut capital is far less expensive than cut, clarity, and color.
Yeah, right.
Far less
Exactly. Yeah, and I
expensive.
need the less expensive version, as an actor. So
Sherry Larson. Now you see, now there's a foodie crowd. Spoonful of powder dipped in milk. A spoonful of powder. Oh, so you take what, the Nestle's Quick powder and then put it in the milk and you just sort of spoon it
sure,
out.
right? Yeah, that
That's
make
kind
you
of
make
cool.
everyone's making me hungry
Another
now.
wonderful show. Yeah.
Thank
Now
you.
you're from Detroit and you're in New York.
Yes. Mhm.
Pizza. Do you like the
Ooh,
New York pizza?
I love the New York pizza. New
Isn't it
York,
good?
it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm a big thin crust guy. The pizza here is out of this
Those
world.
big slices, you fold
Yeah,
it in half and you don't eat it with a
absolutely.
fork or a knife.
Oh,
Some
I,
people
I
do
don't.
that.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes I have. But
If especially if it's loaded with a lot of stuff.
exactly, some of these places, the slices are like this big.
They're
You know
big.
what
They're
I
very
mean?
big.
So
Big
they're very
triangles.
generous here, which I like. So I've had the great pleasure of eating lots of New York pizza in my time. I worked at a pizzeria here in New York, which is awesome. And there's a thing is Detroit pizza too, back at home in Michigan, which is also very good. But I'll make a confession to you, Jim, and now I'm going to lose some viewers. I don't like Chicago style pizza, but that's just my
The deep
personal,
dish sort of. I've
not
never
my,
had it yet. I can't
not
believe
my
I've never
thing,
even tried it.
not my thing. But one man's opinion. See, Italian pizza in Venice. Now you're speaking my
I've
language.
had that
Thank you
in
very much.
Venice on a TV shoot in Venice.
Ooh.
It's really good. Yeah.
Oh, I
A
can
good
only.
margarita pizza is good too.
Oh yeah,
Nice, fresh. It's over there, obviously in Italy. It's very fresh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you gotten over there? Have you been to Italy to see?
I have not. I have not. I would love to do that at some point. The plan was to do that with
Yeah.
family in that mysterious summer of 2020 that was lost to time. So hopefully that trip will be reborn at some point. I sort of have my doubts about it, but we'll see. So the plan is to go soon.
The plan is to go.
Yeah.
Now everything, it used to be BC was before Christ. Now it's before COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
We talk about the old days,
Yeah.
the old days of in-person auditions. Although I do want to make clear, I'm more than happy to self-tape. I hope I wasn't too
Oh
negative.
yeah. If somebody's going to call, right,
I'm
you're not
more than
going
happy
to
to
let
do
that
that,
phone
and
ring.
very positive about that future. So anyway,
Work is work and passion is passion. And
absolutely,
yeah, you're
100%.
obviously very passionate about it. And I would imagine too, the family is quite proud too, right? If they're watching this now or they watch this in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, which I'm sure they will. There he is on
Yeah,
that show, the Jim Masters Show. Knowing that they're proud and rooting you on. I've always had that with my family and friends, and that means the world, doesn't it?
it does. And if it's the Bev M, I think it is in Berkeley. I think it's a family member watching tonight, possibly. I know I have other family watching as well. So to any family I do have watching, I love you. Thank you. You're my world, really.
That's it. Absolutely. Well, my friend, I want to show you somebody that's here who joined us tonight, and he sort of slides in, very apropos for the conversation in the latter part of the show. He slides in every once in a while, and he just likes to say thanks for being with us, and you knocked it out of the park, kiddo. Mr. George Burns is in the house with us.
Hey, George, I've always wanted to meet you.
There he is.
Hey,
There
George.
he is. Of course, with his cigar and his hanky.
Incredible to see you, George.
Looking good, huh?
Looking
For 100
great.
and whatever years old now.
Yeah. Oh, I saw you on a roast the other night on YouTube, George. You haven't aged a day.
He hasn't, I tell you. His secret probably is that cigar. He sits on to the left here with his martini and his cigar, and he just sort of acts as maybe associate producer. And he likes to pop on at the end, kind of like he and Gracie did at the end in front of the curtain. They would do their little routine. And of course, you remember he played God in the movie. So
Right.
you got God on your side, Matt.
I appreciate that from your mouth to God's, and that is our friend George Burns' God's ears. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Always a little surprise that puts a smile on everybody's faces towards the end.
Absolutely. I love that.
I want to share some of the comments that are coming in. Jane says, great. She's up late in Sweden, one of our faithful lovities.
Thank you for staying up, Jane.
Merlin says, love you, guy. Keep plugging Matt. Exactly.
Thank you,
That's what you
Merlin.
got to do. Maureen in Arizona, faithful lovity on the Jim Masters Show, says, Matt, your energy and ambition have definitely served you well and will no doubt carry you to even greater heights. Keep shining. Beautiful.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really the levity can be overwhelming, right?
Well, it's comments like that keep you warm as an actor. So thank you for that.
And as a person too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
just as a person, because I don't think I've always been like when I interview people in my professional work too. Interviewing is one of the things I do. I always end up chatting with them later and thanking them for being on, and they're like, "Oh my God, you did that!" Wow. I don't think there's ever enough positive feedback given. You know what I mean? There's always people are quick with negative, but they're not so easily sharing the positive, the reinforcing. And I'm a very big believer in that. Sherry Larson says, thank you for being with us tonight. Enjoyed it all. Best wishes and all you do in the future. She loved it. And Sherry is watching in Kansas. Claps coming in from Jane. We love that. And Joan Santos says, Matt, my wish for you is you will come back after you get your Oscar and Emmy. Thanks for coming to Lovity Hall. Great evening. Now,
I promise you now, if that ever happens, I will definitely be back.
You can come back before that.
Excellent.
We'll keep the porch light on for you. But as I always say to the guests too, I mean, there are Oscars and Emmys and Grammys and Tonys and Peabodys and Tellys and Tonys, all these cool things. But when they designate you a lovity on the Jim Masters Show live, I mean, are your feet tingling right now? How's that feel?
Because that's such a more exclusive group. I mean, you know what I mean? There's so such fewer membership base there. It's more of an honor in many ways. So for tonight, for now, the Lovity title, that's all I need. So thank you so much.
That's it. June Rachelson Osper, our dear friend from Maryland, by way of originally New York. Great night, Matt and Jim. Thank you,
Thank
June,
you,
as
June.
well. B. Smith, Berkeley. Yes, it's Cuz Bev. Great job,
Excellent.
Matt. I learned some stuff. That's what everybody says. People that watch our like I say, I don't call these interviews, I call these conversations. This is warm freestyle, old school style with a modern twist, modern vibe of
Uh-huh.
today. And relatives, wives, husbands, partners, best friends will say, I never knew that about you. Wow, I learned something.
Well, and you
And
know what? Bev had a showbiz career herself and was a huge mentor to me growing up and still is. And her daughter, Gina, is my cousin. Love you guys so much. Love you, Bev. Thank you for watching tonight, really.
thank you, Bev, and hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Everybody should do that, right, Matt?
Yes, everybody should subscribe right now. Only takes 2 seconds.
Right now, or Matt's going to come to your house, and that could be a problem.
Right.
And he won't be in this character.
You won't love that Matt.
He'll be
Yeah,
the gangster.
exactly. Yeah.
He'll be the gangster character.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the mobster will come out. You'll start to see.
You're not going to get any Elvis from him. You might get some lip, but not
right.
Elvis.
Yeah, I'll be speaking Italian. It won't be from Volare. You know what I
You do
mean?
something with your eyebrows that's cool too when you
Well,
express. Yeah,
well,
you're
that's
doing it right
Jerry,
now.
it's the Jerry Lewis. You know, I need the giant lighter.
That's cool.
anyways,
Yeah.
me being
The ends lift. It's kind of cool.
yeah, it's like the Jack Nicholson
I was
lift.
going to say,
Yeah.
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 Have they made you a buck or two, the eyebrows?
Not yet, but hopefully,
Well,
they will.
after tonight on the Jim Masters show.
It's my life before and after the Jim Masters show. So
I was going to say, start picking out where you want that, Walk of Fame star to go.
Yeah,
You want yours next to Dean Martin.
exactly. Yeah. If it's available, yeah.
Check out that episode again with Dina Martin on
I
our
will.
series. It's on our YouTube channel. Really, really terrific. She's a class act.
She really is. I will. Yeah.
As are you, Matt. It was good having you on the show, and I hope the show met, whatever expectations that you had, my friend, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have certainly with you.
I've definitely enjoyed being here, Jim, and I hope to be back soon. Thank you so much.
You will. The Lovities, George Burns, and myself, we say thanks for being with us, and we always say go stretch those legs now and get the circulation going.
All right. Will do, and same to everyone watching at home tonight. Thank you.
Good luck with everything. We'll keep a watch out for those upcoming projects, my friend. And your website?
Yes, www.matthewprovenza.com. That's Matthew, MATTHEWPROVENZA. So
fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
My pleasure. I'm sure we'll see you in the city. Maybe we'll break bread or whatever. Maybe June will be in town as well.
Yeah, would
kind of
love
cool
it.
to do that. We'll come over and have some of that bolognese sauce.
Hey,
We'll
come on over
anytime.
anytime. Come on to my house. Yeah, definitely.
That's it. All right, my friend. You take care, and it was a pleasure having you on the show tonight. Okay.
You too, Jim. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Absolutely, and spread the word about our show. We would love that.
Absolutely, will do. Jim Masters Show. Love it.
You got it. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Matt Provenza live on the Jim Masters Show, entertainment lifestyle talk show series, going a little old school with the conversation too, which I know you guys love, bringing in Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. Count me in. Yeah, June wants the bolognese sauce. It looks like we are going. That is so funny. Love it. You guys are the best. And it was a pleasure having Matt on the show. We thank him for all his time. And again, we're going to be checking him out in some of the upcoming productions. And it was really cool. Even his own family was watching and they learned things about him tonight, which is kind of cool. And that's what happens on our show because we have good conversations. Nothing is scripted. It's all sort of Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson style with a modern twist of today. Hey, I want to let you know we've got some amazing guests tomorrow from Los Angeles and Hollywood. Incredible singer and songwriter Aspen Stewart is going to be with us. He's also going to perform live for us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Then actually a good friend of mine, we've worked together at Carnegie Hall. We've worked together on television projects. Famed New York costume designer Dustin Cross is going to be with us. He's done costuming for off-Broadway, Broadway, for television, film, even for the New York Knicks dance troupe. He's really, really talented. We're going to be showing you some of his incredible designs from some of the most epic productions and so much more. He's all excited. He's been blasting this out all over. He's really excited to be here. The last time we were together was pre-COVID, and we worked together on a PBS special, and it was shot up in Maine with our dear mutual friend, composer Tim Janis. I always MC Tim's Carnegie Hall concerts in New York, which is always a blessing. And I've known Tim Janis for years. When I first interviewed him on PBS, Dustin was brought in to do all of the designs for all of the performers like Mairead Nesbitt and the Harp Twins and Lynn Hillary and some of the others who you know from Celtic Woman and other areas. And he's a brilliant designer. He's going to be with us Saturday. Now, Saturday, it's a special time. Earlier, we're going to do an afternoon show with Dustin, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. That's 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. And we really, really look forward to that. That's going to be epic when we have him on the show. We're going to really look forward to that. I want to let you know also, we're excited to announce that Gilad Paz is going to be with us. You may remember him from competing with Voce Nova, which is the incredible group he co-founded. He and Natalie together performed on America's Got Talent. He's in New York, born in Jersey, lived in Israel with his family, then on Long Island, then back in Israel, then back in New York. He's in New York. He's a brilliant tenor, performer. He's also a music business consultant as much as he is a performer. And he co-founded Voce Nova, which is this incredible duo group of he and Natalie, who is an amazing singer herself. He's going to be with us on Monday of next week. That's right, Monday the 4th. He's going to be with us from New York. We're really excited about that as well. Next week also, we've got another great actor and singer. Adam Shapiro is going to be with us. Yes, he was involved in Fiddler on the Roof and so much more. We're going to have a ball. He's very funny. He goes deep in the conversations. We're going to have a good time with him. Also, live and direct from London, England, country singer and up-and-coming country star. Matter of fact, she's way up there in the country charts, not only in the UK, but on iTunes. She's like in the top 10. She's 16 years old. She's going to be hopping on our show as well. Olivia Lynn, live and direct from London, England. These are just some of the guests. There's many, many, many more, but some of the guests that are popping on the Jim Masters Show live right here on our YouTube channel. Give it some lovity. Subscribe to it. There's no cost. Just click the subscribe button, subscribe to it, and click that notification bell. The subscribe button looks like that thing right there in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. It's that red button. And don't click on what you see on the screen. That's just a logo. You have to scroll down our YouTube channel. If you click on what you see on your screen right now, nothing's going to happen. That's just a logo. Beep, beep, beep. There you go. just to show you what it looks like. But if you scroll to the top of our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, you'll see the big red button. Click on that and then click on the notification bell so you can be alerted for all of our episodes. On our channel, Jim Masters TV, which is a channel that is really dedicated to entertaining, informing, educating, and inspiring in all the different ways that we do. Gang, we always say, don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the lovity, something that just happened to develop. I won't say by accident because you told me not to. You said it was meant to be. So it was meant to be that lovity formed on the Jim Masters Show live and has been with us throughout. And don't forget to find your Zen place. Mine is with loving family and friends. Always, that is numero uno. But then, of course, I love cycling, tennis, baseball, writing, music, food, comedy. I love it all. Gardening. I mean, really all of it. Nature. And of course, my career in television, radio, stage, and film is also very Zen for me, as you guys know, and the work I've done in TV, radio, stage, and film over the years. And the ocean. Yes, that is my, growing up in New York, out east on Long Island with the ocean all around us, Long Island Sound to the north, Atlantic Ocean to the south, the Great South Bay, the ocean. We're always near the water, and we are here on the coast as well in southern New England, and we love the coast. So you got to drag me out of it. Swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing it, floating in it, walking it, all of it. I just love the ocean. Except for when there's a riptide, then maybe I will just stand and look. And if there's lots of jellyfish, maybe I'll just stand and look. I was swimming in Miami. This was 2 years ago. We were filming a PBS special down in Miami, and it was in August, and the water was like bath water. It was incredible, 90 degrees. I couldn't believe how beautiful and warm it was, blue. And people were saying, did you see the jellyfish? The next day we went. This was in between shoots. And I'm like, what jellyfish? Oh, you didn't see those big frisbee size, clear, like, saran wrap paper, clear floating? I'm like, no, I didn't see. So when we went in the ocean the next day and we're swimming, suddenly now we're noticing them and we're like, but we stayed in it. We were troopers. We stayed in it. Like Matt said, you just got to keep going, keep forging ahead. And that's what we're doing. And you got to do that, all of you. If you're having a rough day or you're at a point in life, we talk a lot about inspiration on this show and empathy and everything else. If you're having a rough time, know that we're here thinking about you and all the lovelies that watch and all the guests. We're all in this together. Like Maureen in Arizona says, have a blessed night, my friends. Sweet be your dreams. Sending tight hugs to each of you. Thank you very much, Maureen. I appreciate that. Good night, Joan Sandow, and good night to you as well. Bye-bye. Are you sitting in that big pink mauve chair in your living room? You showed us a picture of the chair that you sit in. Hey, I know you're excited. You got a chance to see Matt's chair, that cool egg-shaped chair with the velvety pillow. Not every guest is going to just lift up and show you the chair they're in, There's a select few that do, and he did, which was awesome. Another great night. Good night, everyone, from Mary Bishop. Night all from June. Good seeing you, June, as well. And what's cool? All of the lovelies, they greet each other and they say good night to each other as well, which I think is really awesome. It's quite a family we created here. He's fantastic. Love his energy. Thank you for another wonderful evening, Jim. We love you for all you do. Thank you very much, Sherry Larson in Kansas, USA, right there in the breadbasket of our country. We love it. And Maureen also says, what an incredible young man. He's got the sunniest personality ever. That was a load of fun. Yes, absolutely. Always positive energy on this show. Gang, we're going to wrap up here. Busy day tomorrow. Aspen Stewart, this brilliant singer and songwriter who's worked with some of the legends in the business, is going to be joining us tomorrow. We will be here for you once again, live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We invite you to join us. Keep spreading the word. Share the levity. Climb on top of Mount Everest with your bullhorn and just say, I love the Jim Masters Show live. We appreciate that. Everybody that's watching right now live, thank you. Those who are commenting live, thank you. Those of you who are watching who haven't been commenting, we thank you as well. And those of you who are watching this later on in the archives, because we save all these episodes, and we're close to like 500 episodes now, which is unbelievable. We thank you as well. Everybody watching these episodes, you mean the world to us. And if you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up on our YouTube channel and leave a comment on the channel. That really helps us big time, because when you do, YouTube will see that and they'll take the episode and they'll push it out even more. It's a lot of work doing these shows and doing them, on YouTube and everything. You got to really, really work hard. A lot of tenacity, a lot of hours, but we love it because we're entertaining and informing and having a good time with all of you. Sherry says, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful Friday. You as well there in Kansas. Gang, we love you all. Take care. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time. See you again on the next one right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Have a good night. Cheers.